Good evening and welcome to the greatest post-debate live stream on the planet. How we doing, Jason? Before I present my views on what happened tonight, which I think are probably going to align pretty well with yours, I would like to hear your take. What'd you think about it? Well, how are you feeling right now?
Man, Walz really gave it to Vance, man. Amazing. I'm telling you. He did so good. He did so good. I'm amazed. I'm acting like
must have watched totally different debates.
Kidding. I'm acting like every Democrat right now. So Democrat.
I know almost for sure. Almost for sure. On CNN, on MSNBC, they're probably celebrating. Oh man, what a disaster for Walz. What a disaster.
But you know, there's one thing I took out of it though. Like, why is Kamala running for president? Like, actually, Walz actually made her look really even more stupid than ever. Because he did a half better, decent job than Kamala could ever do.
No, that's true. Actually, my brother just texted me and I was like, man, Vance just obliterated Tim Walz. And he wrote, oh, he did better than Kamala. But the thing is, right, like, at least the funny thing is, like, I think everybody knew Kamala was going to do badly. So she was graded on a curve. You know, she was just like Kamala not just completely falling on her face. That was expressed by the media. That was twisted by the media to Kamala Harris won the debate. All right. I think in this case, nobody really knew how they were going to go. Like, I couldn't really predict exactly how it was going to go. I had a feeling that Vance was going to win because, you know, the way Tim Walz talks, he's so goofy. You know, he's pretty good on substance, though. Like, the way he talks, like, he can present a more substantive sounding response than Kamala can, right? It was kind of funny that Vance a couple of times said, what did he say? He goes, I grew up in a middle-class family. And I thought, is that a dig at Kamala? Or is that, like, I couldn't, the joke was either too subtle or he just wasn't aware of the fact that he was so.
He should have added in front of that, unlike some people, I was
I actually grew up in a middle-class family. Right. Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company jumps in. He says, well, hello, motherfuckers. Which we always appreciate that intro. Thank you, Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company. You got to have a better I'm getting bored with that one. We need a new one. Preferably not forcing me to swear every time you say hello. No, I actually enjoyed this. I will say I don't think I caught everything because, and this is just full disclosure, because I do try to pay attention and I'm relatively well-versed on all these issues. And so I do kind of know what they're going to say, more or less. And I did get bored from time to time, and I did stop paying attention. I did find myself on X, like scrolling through, going like, "Oh crap, I wasn't paying attention." What did he say? What did he say?
I did text you. I was like, "Man, this is really long."
No, yeah, you said this is going too long, and I'm like, well, it's going about as long as they expected, but I did realize what you meant, which was it feels like it's going too long because, look, I think the biggest problem tonight, and this is going to be, I think, talked about in conservative news tomorrow, was the moderators. Again, the moderators were so biased, and they weren't just biased, they were terrible. Like, the topics they were choosing in particular were so boring and so left-leaning. Like, they really focused on the abortion thing. They really focused on, and they didn't even frame the question of how would you deal with the environment. They framed the question of, we all know climate change is real. It's totally real. It's totally 100% real. And it's man-made. It's catastrophic. And how are you going to deal with that?
I knew you were going to mention that. I knew you were going to mention that. That's why I didn't say anything in the beginning about the moderators. But my first thing I said to my wife, I looked at her, I'm like, because they would interrupt Vance from replying and ask him a question instead of letting him reply. And I tell my wife, like, we're not here to hear them. They're not running for vice president, right? They are. Let them debate. And of course they were giving of course they were giving him all the hardball questions.
Because there's a lot of questions they could have asked that would have made things a little bit difficult for Tim Walz. They did ask him what that made him that was a little bit difficult. But of all the controversies around Tim Walz, I think they asked him the least controversial question because they didn't really want to put him in that difficult situation because they're leftists Kamala to win. Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company changed his intro to sup. Why another vulgar? I have to read that anyway. But no. Look, I think that there were two key moments tonight, which is kind of funny because like during the Trump Kamala Harris debate, the big moment was they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And you thought, okay, that's kind of silly that was the big moment. But we had a similar thing tonight. I don't know if you caught this, Jason.
The school shooters?
Yeah, the school shooters. Yeah, you've got it. But there were two big moments, I would say. The first big moment was when the moderators cut off Mike. He's obliterating them during the fact like, thank you for giving us the process. We don't want to hear from you. Mute. But I mean, come on.
But this is what I keep on saying is like I don't know why Republicans continue to agree to be on debates with the most leftist media news ever. Like stop already. Like stop, man.
Okay,
there's other alternatives. There's X.
Okay, Jason, I have responded to you many times about this. You've got to stop kicking the dead horse. We know what you think about it.
I'll never stop. We need to stop.
You need to stop because there is an answer. It's a sensible answer. It's the only answer, which is they won't even do a debate if we don't pick one of their super hard. Like we give them every opportunity because otherwise they're too scared to debate us.
Well, then don't do the debate. It's on them. They're the ones that don't want to do the debate. Just say, look, we'll do it on X.
I think we need to do it.
But this is how it should go. It should go, okay, we'll do a debate with one of your whatever people that you want to do the debate with, but you have to do one that we choose. I mean, it's as simple as that.
No, it's not going to work. Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company says, I'm a Marine, brother. It's what I do. Okay, fair enough. Look, we need the debates. I think we need to showcase because here's the reason why we need the debates, man. The leftist voters, they live in a bubble. I met this guy the other day. He works in New York. He works in tech. He works in corporations. He works in that environment in New York City, in the leftist environment. He's a total leftist. He hates Trump. He's totally bought into the leftist propaganda. And every single issue that we discuss, because he always wants to talk politics, right? He's a friend of a friend out here. So I've gone out with him a couple of times, and he brings up politics because he knows I'm a political guy, so he wants to kind of debate me, right? But the thing is, he never, and I don't want to talk politics with this guy because it's going to ruin the evening, but he's never heard any of the points that I'm making. Anytime I make a point to him, he's never heard it. He's like he's just completely oblivious to what's going on. Because and I told him this, I said, the problem with the left is that you guys only get your news from MSNBC, CNN, New York Times. You never get your news from the right at all. So you don't even know what we're thinking. And he goes, that's not true. And they always say the same thing. That's not true. I always check out right-wing publications and Fox News and all this kind of stuff, but they never actually do. It's a lie. And so they live, Jason, you paying attention to me or you reading the chat?
Yes, I'm paying attention.
they live in their bubble. They live in their bubble. And so for a debate for us, if we listen to Walz, if we listen to Kamala Harris, well, not Kamala Harris, but if we listen to Walz, we might learn a thing or two about what the left thinks, something we haven't heard before. Okay. But for the most part, we've heard almost everything that they're going to say. Okay. We've heard most of it before. But the left, they haven't heard any of the stuff that we're saying. So if we don't have a debate, we don't reach that audience at all. They never hear anything that I think for us, debates are more critical. And so we're at a disadvantage there. We don't have the leverage to do what you're saying that you want to do. Of course, in a dream world, we would do that. Of course. But you're like a leftist. You're living in dream world. Okay. We can't do that. We got to take what we can get. That's why we do these debates. I never want to hear, don't do these debates with the leftist moderators ever again. That's our only option. Okay. That's the only thing we got.
Chris, the problem is we do these debates with the leftist terms. That's the problem.
All right. Hold on. Fart Sausage, a gentleman, has given us $5, and he said the only reason the only people who still support Harry Walz, Harris Waltz, are those who know that they are wrong but want revenge on the straight white men. It was actually kind of funny. What the guy that I was talking to yesterday, I was kind of debating him about politics, and I did present the case that the word diversity, it has now become an overtly racist term, meaning bigotry against straight white men. And he was like, what? And I broke it down for him. I said, anytime you want to include anyone in any kind of social thing, government thing, whatever it might be, it's always every single demographic, gays, black people, women, whatever, every single demographic except straight white men. You can't bring straight white men in. Otherwise, have you ever heard of a group that they're like, you know what? We're pretty diverse, but we need one other group. What do we need? More straight white men. Nobody would ever say that, right? And we sort of kind of broke it down and how corporations, if they have two candidates that are precisely the same qualifications, but one's black and one's white, they'll hire the black person, that kind of thing. And he kind of agreed, actually. He was like, well, that's kind of true, but, and then he went into the whole history of systemic racism, that whole nonsense that they always talk about. And, I tried to explain to him that, it's not fair still. Like, if you have somebody today who is poor, like the majority of poor Americans are white people. So we went through that whole debate and everything, but he doesn't, they don't have responses because they don't know our position. They don't know the truth. They don't know the actual issues. But yeah, I 100% agree with Fart Sausage, whose name also, why'd you choose that name? Why do you make me say that on my show?
Thank you for that. I enjoy it.
Yeah, there are a lot. I do think you're right. There are a lot of people on the left. I don't think it's everybody, but there are a lot of people on the left who do take a kind of joy. This is the joy that Kamala's bringing, I think, actually. Take a kind of joy into sort of sticking it to the man as they see it. And the man is the straight white man, right? There is I think the whole feminist movement at this point is just, we hate straight white men. I think that's it. Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company, one of our all-time favorites, even though he makes me swear on the show, says, are we just going to gloss over the fact that Walt said, I'm friends with school shooters? Yeah, I was getting to that. Yeah. So basically, that was the other sort of big, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets moment of tonight. Sorry, I was getting to it and we got kind of sidetracked, but yeah, that's what everybody's going to be talking about on X tomorrow. Tim Walz made a little bit of a, what do you call that? A gaffe, I guess. And he misspoke. I think what he was trying to say was, I've become friends with the families of the victims of school shooters. I think that's what he was trying to say. But his brain glitched and he goes, I have become friends with school shooters. And immediately, I should find this. Can you find this, Jason? Trump Truth from Truth Social. Like, he posted a thing on Truth Social. It was like a little graphic, a little meme. And it was Tim Walz saying, like an ad almost, right? I have become friends with school shooters. And look, that's just going to be what's talked about tomorrow. It was a major, major flub. The guy screwed up. It's a stupid mistake, but it's funny, and people are going to talk about it. Hot Power Concrete Simplified Crawfish Company jumps in again. He says, that old knucklehead. Yeah, calling himself a knucklehead was so lame. Like, that's not a mea culpa. Sorry. To say you effed up, or to say he's wrong. He should have said, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Like, I said something. He could have even explained his thought process, right? When I'm in boot camp or something like that, and I'm holding the weapon, in my mind, I am preparing for war. He could have said that, right? He could have said that. And so if I said, they weren't talking about that particular gaffe, but the point is, you can explain your thought process and say, I effed up. I shouldn't have said that. That was a dumb thing for me to say. And, maybe he can say, I'm not trying to present myself as more than I am. This is who I am, whatever. And clarify. He could have been a man about it and been responsible about it. But instead, don't look for it. I'll find it because I got posted it. Oh, you got it. Okay. So he could have manned up and he could have said, but he says, I'm a knucklehead.
Sent.
Huh? Oh,
sent.
That's what your dorky friend's dorky dad says to be fun with the kids. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just didn't feel like I just didn't feel like he was. I didn't think that was I didn't think that was a valid enough mea culpa. I'm a knucklehead, and I actually think that Vance missed a few opportunities there to call him out. Like, you know what I would have said multiple times during that debate? I would have said, Tim Walz is lying to you. Tim Walz is lying to the American people. Democrats do not respect you. Okay, that's why he's lying to you, because he knows that you will believe him. Right? Please do your own fact checks. Don't rely on CNN. Don't rely on MSNBC. Please do your own fact check. You know, go to, you know, Grok or something, or, you know, one of these. What did you get? No, you didn't get
the school shooting thing, right?
No, I was looking for. I'll find it. Hold on.
What were you looking?
I'll find it. Anyway, you have any other thoughts? Any other sort of random thoughts on what happened during the debate? I felt like, for the most part, well, I think from the beginning to the end, Vance essentially ran over. I guess the old expression is ran roughshod over, or rode roughshod over Tim Walz. Tim Walz seemed like a deer in the headlights sometimes. Literally looked like he was like this sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a moment when Vance looked at the camera like, Psh, I got this. That's a great moment. And as soon as he did that, I checked on X, and somebody had posted a freeze frame of that, because it was such an iconic little shot. Yeah, Vance was just outclassed Walz in every single moment of this debate. But there were some key moments. There were some, you know, fun moments. There were some important moments. But the primary moment was, sadly, it's always something stupid, isn't it? I mean, it's often something stupid. But in this case, you know, the big mistake was, I'm friends with school shooters.
Look, the debate was lost from the beginning because Walz had to defend Kamala. She's been vice president for the last 3.5 years. So almost 4 years now. So he had to defend her and act like nothing that happened the last 3.5, that everything that happened in the last 3.5 years didn't happen. Like, she's just gonna come and bring these new ideas and stuff. But the debate was lost already, because whatever he said that they are gonna do, or she can do, exactly like Vance said, why isn't she doing it now? You know, so
right. And you know what? We had kind of expected Trump to say that a bunch in his debate, and he never said that in his debate, which I thought was really weird. I think he said it once, but Vance said it over and over and over again. And that's kind of what I expected to happen during Trump's debate with Kamala. So I was happy that Vance got that out. That was really good. I thought that was really good. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. Donald Trump posted, I've become friends with school shooters.
But I posted the actual video.
No, but this is what I was looking for, because I was trying to show what Donald Trump's response was, right? I just thought that was hilarious. We all loved that. Yeah, I just thought it was a fun moment. And I don't know. I just feel like Donald Trump, look, I already got 1,000 likes on this. This is just like, everybody loves this, because it's just funny and a fun thing. It's a kind of a shame, nothing more substantive.
Yeah, somebody just reminded me. Yeah, the whole China thing was pretty bad for Walz too. Like, he even fumbled, like, when the moderators asked him about it again, and he kind of like paused and was like kind of lost about why he was there. So
right. Well, I feel like I think he kind of messed up on a lot of stuff. You know, like when he would give an answer, and it wasn't something that he had rehearsed particularly well. It sounded bad. Like he sounded like he didn't know what he would get lost.
You know what I think? I think Vance just made him stumble, because every time he thought he would say something good, which sometimes Walz would talk like, you know, the way the usual politician talks, and they make a half decent answer, but Vance would just come back and like knock it out, you know, and just come back and like, I don't know, give such a great comeback to what he said. He couldn't really react to that as well as Vance did an amazing job. I have to
this is the image that I was going to that I was talking about, where Vance looks at the camera like, you know, and this is the image. Hold on, I'm going to post it to the stage, to the show here. Such a good moment. He like looks up at camera, and this is Tim Walz the whole time. I like the whole time he has like this deer in the headlights look.
Hey, this has to do with what we were talking about in the last.
I mean, Vance knows he won. I mean, they got to be celebrating right now. I mean, I think Trump. I've never seen Trump give a high five, but I think Trump may have given the first high five of his life. He's like, "Yeah, bro, boom." Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company jumps in again and says, "Y'all just witnessed the difference between a Marine and a soldier. Sorry, Army brothers in the chat." I don't know. I feel like Vance was special forces at this point. Yeah. I mean, look, it was a great night. It was a lot of fun. I actually think that there's some value in the funny moments, the silly moments, becoming a little bit more sort of the moments that we talk about the next day. Because oftentimes it does say something about the substance of the debate, right? It doesn't always, but I think in this case it does, right? Which is that Walz was a bumbling buffoon, and Vance was poised and on point and moderate. At one point, my brother, and I'm curious what you guys think about this in the chat. At one point, Vance comes out and he's like, "Look, I think that the Republicans have to do a better job of messaging to women about the whole pro-life, pro-choice, abortion debate type situation." And my brother didn't really like that. It almost felt like an apology or something like that.
Yep.
And he didn't like that. But here's the thing. Here's how I think about this. Trump and Vance, they've already got our vote, right? Those of us who don't like apologies, those of us who don't like moderating our position, and we're already going to vote for them. It's not like we're going to go, whoa, hold on. That wasn't what I want to hear. Therefore, I'm no longer voting for you. He's sort of courting a group of people who maybe they don't like Kamala Harris's Marxist policies, but they just can't vote for Trump because the abortion thing, they're too scared about it or whatever. Maybe he can snag a few votes here or there from that group. So that's why he's trying to sound very sort of sympathetic and moderate and sensitive about that issue. I think it was the right move. It's kind of like a borderline call there. But I think trying to sound a little bit more sensitive to women, I don't think that could hurt. I think that's a good thing. I don't know. What do you think, Jason?
I kind of feel like I kind of agree with your brother. But it's true, like it's true. In that issue, we are losing the cultural war in that issue.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It is. But you know my stance on it. Like,
but I think it's better for Vance to do something like that than Trump to do it.
Yes, agreed. I mean, I really didn't have a really bad when I was listening to it, I wasn't like, oh, why are you saying that? I was like, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My thoughts is, the people that really are doing the abortions are a certain group of voters. So why stop it?
Talk about black people?
No. That's just it.
Yeah, like, it is a lot.
It's black people that are it's black women that are getting most of the abortions. So if you support it, you're actually supporting a genocide of blacks. So
yeah, we've mentioned that many times in conservative circles. We talk about that a lot. Okay, Fart Sausage has jumped in. Thank you, Fart Sausage, and making me say your dumb name again. Will Vance be the second coming of Trump in 2028? Maybe. We'll see. I don't think so. I think somebody else will jump in. I mean, if Trump does a killer job, then Vance will probably get the nomination. And I think Trump will do a killer job. Obviously, the Democrats are going to try to put in impediments to try to stop him from doing a good job. But we'll see how that goes.
No,
it's possible there will be another superstar emerge within the next 4 years. And if that's true, I don't know if Vance will actually be the nominee. Well, we'll have to find out. I think Vance will mature in the next 4 years, and he will grow into the position of vice president. And he'll take on a sort of presidential tenor, and he'll be somebody that we can support. We'll see how that goes. I think it's possible.
I'm not a Vance guy. I'm hoping my governor redeems himself and
right. DeSantis.
I hope DeSantis redeems himself and can come back, because what he did for the state of Florida was amazing. And it sucks that what he did and went against Trump like that and listened to the deep state, but hopefully he could come back from that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I was never like a huge DeSantis guy because I'm not in Florida, but yeah, I'm open to that. We'll see who emerges. We'll see who emerges. Hot Power Concrete Certified Crawfish Company jumps in again. He says Walz looked like a scared toddler in the corner the entire debate. You know what's funny? There was a commentator, a conservative commentator, and hold on, let me see who it was. Kim Iverson, which I was on a plane with one of her classmates, funnily enough, one time. He goes, I know Kim Iverson. Do you know her? And I'm like, no, I don't. But she comes out and she goes, Vance comes off as more of an a-hole and Walz comes off as a nice guy. This is simply how average voters are going to view this debate. And then she wrote, partisan hack comments in 3, 2, 1. But here's the thing. I don't think you have to be a partisan hack to recognize that was the worst take of the night. I saw that and I just thought, what is she watching?
Yeah.
She thinks Vance comes off as an a-hole and Tim Walz comes across as a nice guy. He comes off as a bumbling fool. And Vance just came off as like well-educated and knowledgeable and intelligent. That's how I felt he came across. I didn't think he came across as an a-hole at all.
And not only that, willing to listen and willing to like,
And he agreed. Yeah. He would agree occasionally with Walz. And what was interesting, the only thing that I could say maybe she's right is every once in a while when Vance is listening to a question, he kind of does this thing where he's like this. And maybe to people who are like real into like how somebody looks, he might have looked a little bit mean for a second. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the heck she's even talking about.
Yeah, I don't
know. But
a
lot of people responded to her like, "What are you talking about?" This woman Jen, I think, had the best response. She wrote, "Walz is so friendly. He's friends with school shooters." Oh, you're not listening. You didn't hear what I said. You're reading the chat again.
No, I'm not. I'm listening.
That was funny. Okay, what was the response?
It was okay.
What was it?
Huh?
What was it? If you're listening,
I'm not gonna justify your claim that I don't listen.
All right, I'll read it again just for you. He said, she said, yeah, actually, Walz is so friendly. He's friends with school shooters.
It's okay.
Come on, that's funny. That's fun. It's a good job. Come on, at least give me a sympathy laugh. Give me a break. I thought that was good. Somebody wrote, oh, BS. Tampon Tim came across as scared, desperate, and frequently lied. Vance comes across with policy and crushed him in the debate. Somebody wrote, Vance is killing it. You're way off base.
But by the way, why would Walz bring up Finland of all places to bring up with about guns? That was completely just not smart.
Well, I think it might be because you can actually own a gun in Finland.
Exactly.
I think that's
it actually makes the point to why we should have guns.
Right. I mean, here's an interesting, like, if you look at the statistics, right? Obviously, it's like black men kill people at far higher numbers than any other group in America, right? And they're constantly like trying to cite certain statistics on the left to justify like removing guns or whatever. But if the left actually cared about reducing school shootings or reducing shootings generally in America, they would stop black people from owning guns, right? That's what they would try to be doing. But it's an irrational thing to do. Of course, you can't do that, right? That would violate their rights, okay? So you wouldn't do that. That would be a crazy thing to do, right? But instead, they want to violate the rights of everybody, right? But it's the problem is when they cite statistics, to me, it's always disingenuous because they would never cite that statistic, right? They would never cite that statistic. They would never actually try to solve the problem in a way that would actually work, because what they want to do is just take your guns. That's what they want to do. And they say it, they'll admit it from time to time, and then they'll walk it back during the campaign. And then they'll bring it back when there's a school shooting or something. They'll say, we need to take your guns. And then they'll walk it back during the campaign. This is what leftists always do. Let's see here. It is now has jumped in and they've said, I think the real question today is, What is a fact check? Hint, hint, Matt Walsh, the second in an ongoing series of Question of the Year. Just saying. I didn't really understand that. Can you explain that to me, Jason?
What is a fact check? Like, what is a woman?
I got
What
that
is a
part.
fact check?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, he's suggesting that suggesting that Matt Walsh should do a movie called What is a Fact Check? That's actually quite good. What is a fact check? Look, a fact check, according to the media, is just arguing a left-wing point against a conservative point. It's saying, you're wrong, conservatives. I'm going to fact check you with my leftist idea. Because they're always wrong. Their fact checks are always wrong.
A fact check is countering truth with a lie.
I know, exactly. Native Patriot. We love Native Patriot. Native Patriot has jumped in. He says, the debate style itself needs to change. Sit them down, have a mod, push the conversation, but let them talk back and forth for 2 hours. Look, I actually prefer the town hall style debate.
Yeah.
To me, the town hall style debate is the best kind of debate.
Yep.
You get questions from the audience. I think that it should always be moderated by Fox. If I had I know like a lot of people don't like Fox, but to me, Fox has the biggest audience. So even if you don't like Fox, to me, that's the best one. I mean, it would probably be better if it was Newsmax. I mean, in an ideal world, or X, something like that. Yeah, X would be awesome. But I actually think Fox News is probably the best traditional platform to do that kind of thing, just because of the audience size and the kind of people that watch. And I do think some of their journalists on Fox are actually good. Still, I think some of them, except Gorka's going to hate me for saying any of this. But I was on Fox actually just I think it was yesterday morning. This morning. I think I was on this morning. All right, let's see here. Eric Wade has jumped in. He says, Finland has the highest gun ownership and very low gun crime. America doesn't have a gun problem. It has a mental health problem. It's not just mental health. It's we have cultures in America which do not feel duty bound to do the right thing. They do not have an understanding of the value of human life, right? I think in Finland they have, a traditional European culture valuing human life, recognizing their duty to their fellow man, their duty to try to do the right thing. What's kind of funny is what I found in Europe is I don't think it's sustainable. We'll see how it goes, but you have a reduction in the belief in Christianity or the practice of Christianity, but you still have the sort of after effects of the morality and the values of Christianity in the form of strong social pressure. So what you'll find is in European countries, they'll all do the right thing, not because they think they have a duty to God or their country or their fellow man, but because it's embarrassing if they're caught not doing the right thing. There's like this big social pressure to be like a good person. And I think that's actually okay. I mean, it tends to work. I think that's big part of it. I think without the foundational ethics and values of, a traditional Christian European ethic, I think that'll eventually dissipate. But currently, they really do enjoy that sort of after effect. Let me read here real quick. This is from my brother. I have no idea what he's about to write. CNN. Nope, I can't read it. Sometimes my brother texts me using Siri, like he'll just talk to text into his phone, and it doesn't. He's got to check them before he sends. You ever get that? Well, somebody will read a text. They've clearly read it, and it's like garbled it up, and then they send it, and it makes no sense whatsoever, and they forgot to check their own text. That made no sense, Nick. Exclamation point. It's funny. I use the sort of like thing where, you can like, I don't know.
Swipe?
The sort of swipe keyboard thing.
Oh, how do you do that?
I thought my favorite one, because the Apple one doesn't work very well at all. So I use the Google one. Google one actually works really well. I think it's called the Gboard. And so I do the swipe thing. And I thought this was kind of like common, that like lots of people use this.
No, I can never get that.
If I'm texting somebody in front of somebody else, like if I'm doing this in front of somebody, they'll go, what are you doing? Like, still in 2024, people are mesmerized by the.
I've tried to use that, but I guess I can't because I guess I'm special.
It's just like if you would like do this, except instead of like lifting your finger up, you just go and it's done. Easy peasy. Okay, whatever.
I'm saying I'm speechless. Yeah,
Fernandez T jumps in. He says, "Bring back shame to our country. Make it great again." Make shame great. MSGA. Make shame great again. No, I agree with that. Bring back social pressure to do the right thing. The problem is, I think where I'm from in Oregon,
the problem is you can't talk the truth about gun violence. You really can't, because then it targets one demographic.
I know, demographic. Well, that's a problem. Like, the left turns everything into race. And it's not really a racial thing. It is a cultural thing. And I guess you can say, like, it's Black culture in America, so it is a racial thing to some degree, but it's not inherently a racial thing. I think it's inherently a cultural thing. But you do have, like, somebody wrote on X the other day, they wrote something like, white people will walk 16 miles to return a shopping cart, like, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Like, you could be parked way across the thing and they will walk the shopping cart all the way back. I'm like, well, that's true, because we, typically we're the kind of people that we, and I'll actually grab other people's shopping carts if I see that they've just like left it because I don't want it to hit somebody's car or something like that, that's what we're like. We're just like, oh, this is not in its proper place. We need to fix this. It's like something that's like almost hardwired into our brains.
I went to Walmart one day, and I did a little shopping, and I went to those registers that are automatic. You don't need, you could do it yourself. I went there and I don't know, something happened. I got distracted, and I completely forgot to pay for the shopping. I bagged it and I just left.
Oh, any of it. You didn't pay for any of it.
I didn't pay for any of it. I went, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I didn't pay for what I bought. You know what the stupid me did? I went back. I went all the way back.
Of course. You've got
told them, look, I didn't pay for my shopping. And they were like looking at me like, this is
why would you come back?
And I actually ended up paying for it. I'm like, so
I've done stuff like
what
that
you
before,
were saying.
But no, that's exactly right. Yeah, there is a sort of moral obligation to do the right thing, even if there's no consequence to doing the wrong thing. That exists within that sort of like traditional European ethic. And that doesn't exist in some other cultures in the United States. And I've met illegal immigrants, really illegal immigrants, who will tell me openly, like, if you're riding in an Uber, sometimes they're like Uber drivers, or, you just, in LA, you meet illegal immigrants a lot, actually. And they'll tell you openly that, no, in my country, if you're not exploiting the government, if you're not ripping stupid people off, it's considered like you're like low IQ. It's like, why wouldn't you take advantage of this thing that you can rip off? Like, why wouldn't you do that? If there's no consequence to doing this, why wouldn't you do it? Well, because you have a duty to your fellow man. You have a duty to God. You have a duty to your own conscience. Conscience. And why is the word conscious and conscience so damn similar? I always, every time I say conscience or conscious, either of those words, it gets twisted in my brain. Okay, my brother has texted me again. Let's see if what he said makes sense now. Yeah, nope.
Now he's just playing with you.
My brother. Now he's just playing with me. But yeah, no. Look, I'm not sure how you fix that problem, because, like you say, the concept of shame, the concept of social pressure to do the right thing, the concept of just having a duty to do the right thing, these are things that just don't exist in every culture. In a lot of parts of America, like, how do you change that? Like, I always complain about Black culture telling, like, some kids are discouraged from doing well in school. To me, that is terrible. Like, why would you do that to your own people? Like, to me, that is horrible. But, like, how do you fix that? I'm not sure how you fix that. To me, it's something that's internal. that like the leaders within that culture have to fix it. But like, it is a problem that we all share as Americans, because, you know, like they keep saying, oh, we have a systemic racism problem. Look at the historical inequity. Look at this is the reason why black people don't succeed. Well, maybe black people don't succeed because they tell their kids not to study. Maybe that has something to do with it, you know? And it's like, maybe it's a cultural problem more than it is an American problem, an American like systemic racism problem. Maybe it's not that, actually. Maybe it's a cultural problem. But then how do you fix that? You can't. It's hard for us to fix it from the outside. But then we get blamed for it when they don't, when black people disproportionately do poorly or are poor or don't get jobs or something. We get blamed for it because we're racist, even though maybe it's actually their culture that's causing the problem. And so we're affected by this. We're affected by this because we're getting the blame. White culture in America is getting the blame, but it's actually maybe black culture is the problem. And it's hard to convince people of this, but yeah, bring shame back, make shame great again, I think is a great idea. I don't know how you actually do it. Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company says Christopher has little hands. Swipe doesn't work for big fellas. Oh, my little fingers will. You know, I actually do have kind of short hands, like they're kind of small hands for a guy. That doesn't mean anything, by the way, assholes. I know what you're thinking.
Just like Trump.
Just like Trump. Yeah. All right. Let's see. It is now. Says, what is a demographic? Just saying, Matt. What is a demographic? He's got a lot of film ideas, this guy. He's got a lot of them. Fart Sausage says, God, change that name, man. Change your name. He says, Real USA has been condensed into one state, Florida. I think Texas is in there too, right? Texas is in there too. Every state has some problems. Every state has some advantages, even if it's just like the trees or something. It is now, right? What is the consequence of consciousness? Oh, that was not very nice. He just did that to make me say both of those words. I don't know who this it's now person is, but they're pretty funny. I welcome you to join our live stream more often. I like you. You're funny. All right. I don't know how much there is else to say about this. I mean, I can go through my tweets for today. Let's have a look. What did I tweet? I wanted to bring my brother in, but he's saying gibberish. All right, let's see here. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, this is one thing I wrote, which I may have mentioned it already, but I think this is critical. I wrote, this is a very profound, I think, observation about the debate. Tim Walz is boring. I mentioned this at the top of the show. I'm watching the show and I'm finding myself on X and not listening to Tim Walz because every time he spoke, not every time he spoke, but often when he spoke, I just found myself like falling asleep. Like I'm bored out of my mind. It was just boring. The moderators were crap. The turning off the mic thing was so disgraceful because, you know, when the Kamala debate occurred, the ABC moderators really disgraced themselves and I think exposed themselves as these partisan hacks that everybody was like disgusted by. And when CBS started the debate, I legitimately thought that they were trying to counterpoint that, trying to like create a contrast with them, because they said something at the beginning, like they said very clearly, like, we have not given the candidates the questions. That's what they said.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of people said that they think that Tim Walz did get the questions. I'm not so sure that that's true. I think maybe he just prepared well for the obvious questions that would have been asked. It's not clear to me that that's not obvious to me. But I thought it was funny that they said that because ABC was accused of giving the questions to Kamala Harris. And I don't think they ever denied it. Maybe they did. I don't remember. But that is generally believed by conservatives that they gave it. So CBS came out and they go, we did not give these questions to the candidates, suggesting we're not trying to help out Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, right? But then they come out and like shut down Vance as he's trying to fact check Tim Walz and try to explain what's going on with the immigration crisis. And he's obliterating the moderators. And they're like, whoa, what are you doing? Somebody turn his mic off, you know? and it just exposed them as the partisan hacks that they are. I think in such a much more clear and significant way than what happened with ABC. Like what happened with ABC was like annoying things consistently throughout the debate. This was one big moment, you know, which I think may have been a little bit more more impactful. We'll see. But I thought even from the first question, which was given to Walz, JD Vance had responded to that, or was he was given the opportunity to answer the same question essentially. Walz was asked a question, and he just seemed like a doofus, just completely, you know, deer in the headlights, didn't know what he was doing. And then JD Vance comes in, and he's just like boom, 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 calm, smart, articulate, perfect. And that continued right into the end of the debate. So to me, this is a celebration. To me, this is a moment to celebrate. I think that if Trump didn't have it completely 100% in the bag at this point, now it's 110%. I think that this killed it. I don't know, Jason, I want to see, and I know this is not going to happen, and I know it's probably strategically stupid, but selfishly, I kind of want to see another Trump-Kamala Harris debate.
Yeah, I do too, kind of.
You do? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to disagree with me.
But I want the old school Trump, the 2016 Trump.
Yeah. Well, Trump came out the other day. We talked about this on the live stream on Monday. Trump came out the other day and he goes, look, Joe Biden has had this like cognitive decline over time, right? He's had this problem where he's become mentally damaged or whatever over time. He goes,
he can't help it.
Yeah, he can't help that. He goes, but Kamala Harris was born that way.
Yeah, I love it.
And it was just like, you know,
when I heard that, I was like, this is the Trump I know and love. This is the Trump I need in the debate.
And I sent it to you, and I was like, dude, this is exactly what you've been talking about. And the funny thing is, Trump still has that stuff, you know. And another thing that was funny was he was asked by a moderator or by a reporter or something, like, don't you think that that like what you're saying about Kamala Harris is really nasty? Like, you're saying that she's like low IQ, you think she's stupid and all this kind of thing. So she's like, is this not appropriate for, for running for a candidacy, for running for president? And Trump goes, and, because the thing is, I don't think Trump's necessarily doing this stuff. Like, you think that Trump plans this stuff out. Like, he's like, oh, this is going to have a big impact. I don't necessarily think he does. I think he's just brutally honest. So he comes out and he responds and he goes, and this is just Trump being authentic, right? And Trump goes, look, I'm just telling the truth. He's like, you need somebody who is highly competent to be president. And she's not highly competent. She's dumb. She's like low IQ person. And that, I love that about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely love that.
That's the thing about Trump is the authenticity.
I love that that his jabs are not, authenticity. I love that his jabs aren't these like planned jokes that he's executing. I love that it's just like Trump's just saying what he thinks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like Democrats that say something and they're waiting for like the applause or the laughs where they have to tell them, okay, you can clap now. No.
Right. Do you remember Jeb Bush at one point when he was running against Trump? He makes some joke to an audience, and they obviously didn't get it, or they didn't quite hear him, or something like that. And he goes, or he made a point that he thought was important, or something like that, and they didn't get it, and he just goes, "Please clap."
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of my favorite political moments of all time.
And that joke was rehearsed. Like over and over and over.
It was, or I don't know if it was a joke or an impactful statement or whatever it was, but yeah, he expected a response. And I think Schumer came out with something like that recently. He said something, and nobody was responding, and he starts clapping himself, and he goes, "I'm gonna clap. You don't have to clap. I'm gonna clap." Oh, Chuck Schumer, what a freaking loser!
Yeah.
Hot Power and Concrete Simplified Crawfish Company jumps in with $5. Says, that's his quote for Walz in the VP debate in 2024. You know what?
Walz impersonated a good Jason there.
I think we can end the live stream on that note, because I think that Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company really summed up.
But there's
Walz's
another one.
performance.
There's another super chat.
All right, but I think that summed up the performance very, very well of Tim Walz. That's basically his entire performance.
Yeah.
If you guys want to say anything in the super chat you want us to read, please. We want to hear what you guys have to say about this debate. It is now says, I would follow more, but shadow banning. You don't come up on my feed anymore. Oh, sorry. You don't come up on my feed anymore, but I've been subbed for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. That's just the way it is. My YouTube is completely friggin' shadow banned. It's terrible. I've told people this before. Like, my original Kamala Harris ad that got 136 million views on X, it got like, I think 300, or I think at this point it's at 400,000 views or something on YouTube. But like other people who reposted it, there was a guy that reposted it from X. He ripped it off of X and then posted on his YouTube channel. He got like 1 million views. I'm like, it's my video.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy who posted a review of it, and it was
Uh-huh.
basically just him laughing at my video on YouTube, and he got like 8 million views. I'm like,
I think I was sending you like bothering you and like
Yeah.
actually making fun of you, sending you videos like, look at this guy, he made a million hits on his video.
if there's a guy that's getting 8 million views laughing at my video, why is the video itself not getting 8 million views? Why am I not getting that, YouTube? Oh, because I'm an evil Trump supporter, so you don't like me so much. YouTube, man. YouTube. Destroying small businesses since 2013. Yeah, YouTube. Crappy company. Well, it's Google, right? And I think their motto has been since the beginning, Google, is be evil. Isn't that the Google
Yes.
motto?
Yes, pretty much.
All right. I'm going to go have breakfast now, ladies and gentlemen.
So, wait, Stefka Nikolova, I think, said 2028, Chris for president, Jason vice president. Yeah, I do much better. I do a much better job than Walz with the yeah, let's do it.
I appreciate it. We will be the best looking president and vice president in history.
I agree with that. I think we might just get voted on that alone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We'll be called the Mr. Reagan brothers. The most toxically masculine presidential administration in the history of America. All right, one more. Hot Power Concrete Simplified Crawfish Company. He says, I'll review it on my channel. We can split the money. Okay, fantastic. The 8 million views that you get. I appreciate it. All right, ladies.
If you died and I became president, like we made a president and you died and I become president, my first act would be separation of California and to say all liberal leftists go move to California and well, I'll force them to go there. And then we can have our conservative United States of America.
Yeah, you can put them on trains. I love it. All right. Oh, and we got a new one from Honestly Present. Honestly Present jumps in. $2 says, Pence has me keeping an extra eye on Vance. Just because you don't trust just any vice president? Is that it now? Like vice president? You're just suspicious of vice presidents? That's fair enough.
I agree. That's very true.
I keep trying to get off the line here, and you guys keep sending super chats. All right. Well, I think, I don't know, Jason, what do you think? Final thoughts. Let's get your final thoughts.
I think Vance did a good job. It was a good debate. It felt good to go back to like old school kind of debate.
It's kind of an old school debate, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Vance did good. He won it. I'm sure the Democrats are going to say he didn't, but he did. And at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. I think people in the middle, I think they're already convinced to go on the side of Trump.
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I just can't wait to the election.
Look, I'm the same. It was a bit of fun. Like you said, it was fun to go back to an old school debate. Like you said, Vance crushed him. Yeah, like these things are fun to have. Whether it changed anything, I don't know. But look, at the end of the day, every one of us has to admit that it is not that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much. That is not so. See what I did there? You see what I did
Yep.
there? So my little closing thing, little Reagan quote for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast, a whole lot of fun. I loved hearing all your comments, and we'll see you again probably. What day is it today? It's Wednesday? Thursday.
Here it's Tuesday.
No, it's Tuesday where you are. Okay,
Yep.
So we'll see you guys again on Thursday evening. Until then, I don't know. You know what? One last thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they say on MSNBC and CNN about this. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. All right. See you, folks. See you then.